Okay, we are live, Alex.
Okay, can we get the link? Okay, my voice is good, right?
Yeah, mine is
Okay,
okay,
we are
or,
live, Alex.
or...
Yeah, I think you sound okay. Can we get the link?
Okay, perfect.
You posted it in the
Okay, we are
channel,
live,
right?
Alex. Yeah.
Okay, can we get the link? Okay, my voice is good, right?
Yeah, mine. I will post it in the Tredum chat also. Already
Let's
5
give it
hours.
a couple of minutes so people can join in. Then we start. As usual, if you guys got any questions, do not hesitate them to post them in YouTube chat.
And we'll answer that for the best of our capabilities, guys.
Yes, exactly. I love the way you say capabilities, though.
Hmm?
I love the way how you say capabilities.
Yeah, you know, the Belgian accent, huh?
Yeah, it's a nice accent, man. It's a nice one. Bum, bum, bum.
1 or 2 minutes more, maybe.
Yep. The time is ticking. Tick, tock, tick, tock. 1 more minute. I have the timer set. The stream is behind roughly 27 seconds. I see it now since I have my clock open.
We are 7. I think we can start.
Okay.
Hello, guys.
Hello. Yep. Hello, guys. Welcome to yet another weekly webinar. Hello. Okay, so this one we had a poll, and you guys voted that 8 o'clock would be the best time for you, and so we did a stab test and to see if 8 o'clock is going to work for us. If it's not going to work for us, let's see how many viewers can we get throughout this span. But before we get started with this webinar, let me again mention that if you got any questions, please do post them into the YouTube chat system, and we will try to answer them to the best of our abilities. Yeah, so we can start off by just jumping straight into Bitcoin, right?
Yes, as usual, Bitcoin first.
Yeah, I mean it is the father of all coins, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so oh wait, let me show it on the higher time frame first. Okay, speaking of higher time frames, guys, you remember this box? We pretty much have this box for the last 4 or 5 streams in a row already, and we were waiting for it. The first short we did on this box was in this area. Where's my little...
Right there.
Yeah, no, actually it was around here. It was around here. I think, wait, no, was it around here? I think
I
it
think
was around here at the end.
it doesn't
Oh yeah,
300.
it was around here. Yeah, you're right, absolutely right, because we actually had this drop down. Yeah, it was around here. It was a box around this area, like you said, and then we took the first profit target on it, and then we did a small time frame trade on it, and we did another one around here, which was actually was a little bit higher, I think. It was around here, and then the Coin Telegraph released the news that CME futures from America has been accepted, and we got wrecked on the second short.
It was option, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, options, not yeah futures. Okay, so now it comes round two, as I would like to say, right? The second short was right up here. Right up here in this box. It was actually a small sign in the box with a stop above here, right? And we still live through this box. It's a vast box, but like I said, it's really hard to catch a trade on Bitcoin without, you know, using a little bit of a bigger area this time around, because, you know, it's just the times are different and Bitcoin is a lot more wiki than it was in the past, right? And I do guess, I mean, we did have a lot of shorts up here. I mean, sorry, I think both triggered some shorts up here, if I'm not mistaken, right? Especially on Ethereum, because Ethereum usually is the bigger gainer than everybody else, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
So now there's another opportunity for us to capture this short, right? And basically, if you go on lower time frames. Now again, this back in the day, this would be a pretty sure trade, but right now, because Bitcoin is wiki, it's gonna be a little bit harder, right? So I'm going to say like this: you basically created this whole structure right now, and you lost two of the good levels here, right? You lost it in one, and you actually are spending right now. If I go on daily, you're actually spending a couple of days under it, right? This is now a third day already. That's we're gonna close under this. And this is pretty bad for Bitcoin, and this could be a major sign of reversal right now for the first time. So what I do in this, if I miss the first trade, I would set one trade here and a second trade here, with a stop loss above this wick, right? So then when if it does something like this and then decides to crash down, we are fully filled in into the shorts and just continue downwards, right? Just delete this. That would be if you planted and missed it again around here and around here with the stop above this line over here, and this could be served as a pretty good short. Now if you're going to ask where this short could take us, so obviously you can see my levels right here, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna take a trade in each of those levels, and all goes on 4C are gonna take them as well. Maybe the entry would not be exactly as mine would be, but it would be pretty similar, to be honest, because they do recognize the when it turns around, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, basically speaking, one of these longs would be around this. It would be in area, and it's not a precise entry yet. The stop on this one. Now this one is a little bit more tricky, right? The stop of 300 bucks is too much, right? I have to bring the stop all the way up here, and this makes it a little bit tricky right here, because if it's going to react from here, right? It's gonna be a small reaction. I don't expect like anything like this, right? So I've seen this all around the Twitter saying that people it would go from here to higher up. Based on the higher time frames, based on this, I can't say it's gonna do that. I mean, that would basically just break whatever it did here, you know. So before it does that, I would not assume it's gonna do that. So I'm still gonna remain bearish for there. So if you're taking this trade, then you have to keep your stop tight, because it's gonna come down. If it's gonna come down, it's gonna make a small reaction. You maybe get 1%, 1.5%, and you're out of the trade, right? Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything more of it. Better trades come actually down here, and this is a better one. This one could give you a healthy reaction. A reaction that could potentially, you know, if it comes down here, could take you up here or even up here, you know, to something like this. So this one would be considered a lot better trade in my opinion than this one. That's why I even tagged this one as a green line, you know, instead of the orange line. Orange line just basically here meaning that it's so, you know, it's 50-50, I like to say it, and this one is a lot more safer down there, right? Then coming up to really safe trade, one of the most safest trade on the graph right now, it is a trade on 7,300, which is being right here. this again. On 7,300. This would be one of your safest trades on this current chart right now. Would I expect this to break another high? No. Technically speaking, I am trying. If I say no, totally no, then again I am, sort of how to say. I'm sort of starting a prediction again, which is something I really don't want to do. I don't want to predict stuff, as you guys know me already, right? But I'm gonna say a good guess from what happened in the past on weekly time frames. What we've seen here on the weekly time frames, that this level will not break the top, because it's how the Bitcoin moved in the past, and the pattern still continues within this. I cannot safely say that this would break the top, right? My long-term target for Bitcoin right now, I mean long-term time after getting filled on the short, and I will try to write it as down here, is around down here. So as we spoke about this in the previous stream already, I'm not sure if you guys were there because it was at 2 p.m. So yeah, it was a lot earlier there. Basically this trade right here, right? The level is around here. I mean, the level is a little bit of box, right? Again, like I said, we're not trying to pinpoint a buy in a certain area. We're just doing a box, but yeah, for the sake of stream, we're just doing a line since it's a little bit more normal. This for me, this would be around the thing when I could start expecting, I mean, a trade that's gonna give me, first of all, it's gonna give me a big reaction, a little bit bigger than what I was talking about here, and also a trade that could potentially, take us again, maybe up here even, maybe even up here. And this then, if you do it like this, right, it's starting to prove quite a profit, right? It's 5% almost. So yeah, that would be quite a nice trade. If this area fails, and like I'm talking about this area as a whole, because I would take another trade if it goes down here. If this area as a whole fails, then I have no words. I mean, obviously this area, we're gonna see a reaction one or another, and it's not gonna be a small one when Bitcoin comes here, if it comes here, right? It's again a bit of a prediction, right? But if Bitcoin comes to this area, like I'm pretty sure that we're gonna see somewhat of a reaction, and that reaction could either be pretty fast, because as it was in the past, you can get something like this, right? You get a dive in and then quickly run up, or we can even get this, it drops down and then quickly pumps up, like 2-3 days, and you're up on the top, right? Because there is ton of liquidity here, and I'll tell you even what, because a lot of people when we first did this, right, and we pumped to like 6k, a lot of people sold here. A lot of people sold in this area because they said, oh, this is the strongest resistance on the entire chart. And back in the day, it was the strongest resistance on the chart. The people weren't wrong, and a lot of people sold there. And this is what I'm expecting. If it either hits here, it's gonna be a massive reaction. That's what I'm counting on for at the moment, right? We don't know if that's gonna happen, but I'm saying, like, I got a pretty good feeling about this trade, and trades like this, they don't happen very often, so that's why you must be sure to take a trade like this, even if it gets stopped out at the end of the day, I would still take it. It's one of those trades which I would take in my sleep. Basically that's how confident I am in the trade. It's gonna work out on the long term, and if you want to do professional trading, then obviously you have to obtain such trades and always take them, no matter what your mindset is at that moment, right? Back at Ethereum, so as we were speaking about Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, as we established right now, is if we can break above this, it can change the trend, right? So if we break above this box right here, it can change the trend, right? And in this case, we are quite close to it. Let's see how much. We're like 16% away, right? Now Ethereum is a whole another story. Right? So basically, Ethereum, this is its first test box. Like Ethereum should at least test this. Right now we are in short on Ethereum, and this all makes sense, and I would go short as well, because we did hit that first rejection area. So the first hardship of Ethereum meets right here. So definitely we went into short. Even the algos went into short here, and this is the perfect area to go short, right, Arnaud? I mean, we gotta agree here with algos that they did a pretty good job on it, right?
Yeah.
Of course. This is definitely a bulletproof short, right? So now the only question is what Ethereum is gonna do with it. We don't want to see Ethereum go under this. This is definitely not. We want to keep it above 155, and you can even see above 155 was a pretty strong level here. You know, you can see it lines up pretty greatly with the whole chart, right? So right now we have to stay above this level to remain a little bit bullish, right? I mean, macroly speaking, lower time frame speaking, I would even want to stay above this level. You know, macroly speaking, from the lower time view perspective, I wouldn't even want to lose this one, to be honest, because this one already adds a little hint of, you know, or you know, some just thing that is not too good for the chart, right? But you know, ultimately losing this level, then I'm starting being full bear again and just, you know, trying to short Ethereum as well as I can, right? But ultimately speaking, I think it's time for Ethereum to at least test this area. Like this area has been left untouched for so long right now, and it's just screaming for it to be tested, and even has this huge gap in it, right? So definitely waiting for Ethereum to test this area, and let's hope it's gonna have enough power to do that this time around. You know, I mean, they are bringing out some technology on Ethereums and everything else, right? So it would be nice if they could come around and bless us with a little bit of gain, right? But the thing is, like I said in the past, we have to break this area for Ethereum to get bullish, and unlike Bitcoin, for Bitcoin that's 16%, right? But for Ethereum that's
What other story?
120.
What other story right there?
What?
120%. It's a word other story, right?
Yep. It's like Ethereum has so much to gain that I'm starting to really doubt that it will ever get up here again. You know, for Ethereum it might be over. Ethereum might have already been seen his best time period, and it's basically it for it. You know, it's always gonna be moving around this area, like, you know, always moving around this price around here, and you know, just never actually breaking the top. And possibly, you know, Ethereum first probably broke the top just because, if I'm not mistaken, just because ICOs, and we all know ICOs are probably not coming back, right? So who's gonna fuel it again like this to break the top, right? But yeah, Ethereum used to be like hand to hand with Bitcoin, but actually Bitcoin is outperforming Ethereum at every sort of way possible, you know. So it's probably not happening for Ethereum anytime soon. Not unless we break this one, then we can have a little bit more hope. But until we break that one, and I'm still judging for how far away this one is up here, that's just gonna be really heavy to break it, right? Yeah, so that would basically be for BTC and Ethereum. Nothing too special. We are actually short on Ethereum. I've showed the short on BTC. You can check if anything happened on
XRP.
XRP.
Yeah.
XRP is playing out our trade yet again. Played it out already here, and now it's giving it another push. XRP. Oh yeah, I have this level for a reason up here, because this is one of the main levels on the XRP, and XRP actually looking quite close. I mean, XRP is even closer than Ethereum, right? So that's a good sign, right? But like I said in the previous, like, since we actually rejected this most bearish one and returned right back at the level, right? For XRP can still do something like this before it goes up. So we can still see another lower low, right, before we move up. So yeah, nothing basically changed from here, from the next week till now. Let's see, TRX actually turned around before our level, and you know, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, wait, how much percentage does he have? 55%. Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks better than XRP, right? Because not only did it turn before our level, it actually reacted right from the middle of the structure, right? Which is something I didn't expect, because here we had a pretty bearish reaction, right? But okay, if it does that and now goes above this high, then XRP actually has a fighting chance of actually gaining something here. So we will see that one. LTC. Okay, so LTC is basically doing what we said the previous week, right? If you remember, LTC is basically, you know, it started to accumulate here, right? And then it actually does a lower low, and now it's starting to go up back, and now it's holding this level. It's gonna hold this level, and then it's gonna go up. You know.
We drive to a low, yeah.
And this is what I was telling on XRP, what I want to see, and LTC is actually pulling this off right now. It actually did a low low. A lot of people got stopped here. But you know, this is actually how the accumulation patterns are good accumulation pattern looks like. And this one is actually pulling it off, right? This one right here, it's a perfect one. Now it only has to paint it like this, perhaps test this level again from here, you know, and then slowly move up higher. And then actually gain this level for us to be a little bit more bullish, right? This would be now the level for us to turn the chart around a little bit, but this does make it bullish. I'm just saying it makes it a little bit more bullish, you know, time to gain something, because here it's a little bit more complicated chart, because look at this, right? I mean, it's obviously that we also going to have to gain at the end of the day something like this before we even start considering being bullish, and that's around 70%. But so far this, I love this accumulation pattern, it's really nice. So basically, if you wanted to trade it, I should say you could take a stab at it right in this one. A little bit up here, because we do not want to miss it. Something like this. Yes, something like this. Yeah, something like this, and the stop under. How much stop is that? 11%. It's not the best stop. It is 11%, but the upside could be huge. Still, like 6% of it goes to bullish one. It's 7%. So yeah, that's pretty sick, right? Definitely plausible. We will see how this one plays out. I will just leave it open right here, but definitely LTC looking pretty good. Litecoin. EOS, let's check out EOS. EOS, nothing special. Oh, we're still waiting for a level. EOS, you know,
Just quickly, guys, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask them in YouTube or even in the 4C Trade Room chat if you want. If you don't have a channel on YouTube, don't hesitate to post them on the channel chat. We will answer to that. Okay?
Yep.
Don't hesitate, really.
Yep. Thank you, Arnaud. Write this right now. It's a tricky one, you know. This one is a little bit tricky because I'm not sure what it's trying to do. Like, it's trying to push up, it's trying to push down. Okay, so the volume is... Wait, let me see the volume again. The volume is steady, right? So for this one, let me see what it says on... Okay, so the volume is only steady on Bitfinex. It gives a little bit of... Okay, so it's still possible. It's still possible for this trade to be played out. But I need to see what's gonna happen the next week. I will give this trade a good 10 days. If it's not if it closes under this one, we get a close under this one, then I'm pretty sure it's gonna get filled eventually, right? But if it stays above this, right now, then probably we're not gonna get a fill on this trade. So we will wait for this one to see what's gonna happen. Let's see, 80H. Wow, this one moved. Oh look. So basically, it did what we expected, right? We had accumulation line. It was doing it. Actually, basically tapped this liquidity box for like 4 total times and didn't crush it, and now it's actually doing something right now. So this one has now a good chance of breaking out. Because, okay, it drained a lot of liquidity here, but I'm gonna ask you how much liquidity could still be up here, because we tapped it obviously almost 4 times or 5 times, right? So this right now, if it's not gonna drain now and actually go higher, then I don't know what's going on with 88. It will probably go lower. It has to break out now. There's no other option for it. But it's still far from gaining anything from, like, yeah, still 60%. So obviously at the end, TRX actually looks the best for it now, if I'm not mistaken, right? It was TRX. TRX actually looks, in the current sense, I mean, they're so pretty similar. If you look at this chart, they're always so similar. They're so similar. Right? I mean, everything basically looks the same. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna bump in like some of the... It's gonna have some coordination, right? The previous week we have set up 2 trades. One of these being here. Tezos. My friends, Tezos. This one brought us some joy. Because it touched it just a little bit here. And, you know, mooned obviously instantly 2 targets. And then we had it Zen, which was the other one. Wait, no, not the Zen.
It was Beam, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, Beam is still to be filled.
Yeah.
Still looks good. But it was one more. XLM. Oh, was this one?
Let me...
This one mooned. XMR mooned as well. Oh
XMR?
no. XMR we got filled before. I'm sure we
yep.
It was something else. I cannot remember what was it.
Okay, it was Theta.
Oh, Theta.
Theta.
Theta? Are you sure?
And BNB as well. We
Oh,
have BNB,
Theta. Look at that. Theta as well. Touching Moonin. BNB.
but so we missed to the pips.
Yeah, so we missed it. Like,
And
okay, BNB. BNB I'm still gonna come, even if it does. BNB is gonna do something like this. So yeah.
I think BNB was before New Year Eve. We sent BNB.
Oh, okay. So I mean, low time frame it could do that, but high time frame it will actually moon BNB. Wait. Let me see it again. Mm. High time frame it's possible that it moons, but it has to break this. So low time frame it's bearish, high time frame it could moon. So yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm still gonna wait for it to do this. I'm still gonna wait. And if it doesn't do this, then I'll just follow up with another long, which is gonna be around this area. Depends how far it's gonna go up, right? But we'll see. We'll see about this one. So does anybody have any questions, guys? Anybody has anything to say to us?
No, no question. Nor in YouTube, neither in the chat.
Okay, so then we basically spoke about everything, right, Arnaud? I mean,
Yeah, I do think so, Alex. So
we can basically wrap this slowly up then. Oh yeah, look what ETC did. Holy shit. I mean, ETC got hacked so many times, got pronounced as a scam coin, and yet it still pumps 160%. Are you kidding me? Like, what the fuck is this? Oh yeah, by the way, did you hear the news about HOT?
yeah, about the CEO, right?
They basically the CEO
something.
used the user-based. I mean the investors' cash. She used the investors' cash to build up a sex dungeon. I mean it's not sex dungeon. It's like bondage dungeon. You know.
Yeah, so bondage dungeon is sex dungeon. The same.
I mean, you know, I'm not gonna say I have nothing against the fetish, right? I mean, it's just bunch of ropes, right? It's a normal thing.
We had a question from a user that week. What do you see for hot? Because I think he bought at 7 right now. What do you think, Alex?
It's like this, you know, for hot being a low Satoshi coin, right? Basically, every Satoshi means, look at this, every Satoshi is like, wait, let me see, every Satoshi is like 20%. Holy shit, that's a lot of money, right? And, you know, the hot actually bounced already here. You see, this is the problem. We already bounced here, and we did use up a lot of liquidity. And then we bounced a little bit to the top side. We rejected the first trouble area, which was here, right? We rejected it hard, and now you're back at 7 Satoshi. Like, I mean, in my book, when I see a chart like this, I'm probably thinking it's gonna go like to 6 or 5, right? But now we can't, like, but the thing is, we're so low. We're almost at 1 Satoshi, right? I mean, how low can it go? That's the question about these low Satoshi coins, right? I mean, we already made a full retracement, full retracement of Binance. And right now, I'm thinking it's gonna go slower, right? I'm thinking it's gonna go lower. I'm not even sure how fat the walls are on it, right? But you know, just look at this. Look at this volume as well, right? I mean, the coin is just dying.
Pretty much nothing.
And right now, with this sex dungeon or a bondage dungeon or what the hell this was, right? What if it even gets delisted from Binance, you know? Then the shit is gonna be fucked, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that will mean 1, 2 tweets at the shed, I know.
But, you know, the thing is like this, you know, you can basically spot market makers quite easily in charts like this. So look at this consistent volume, you know, consistent volume, then they turn it off right here, right? And as they turn it off, look how it's slowly sliding down, right? And then you can see, look at this slow increase in volume, right? I mean, it's not coincidence. It's not coincidence, slow increase. And then after like
kind of austere, you know.
Yeah, couple of weeks, you know, you get that fields in, and then you release some news, and then boom, right? You pump the shit out of it, right? And then look, and this is what I call distribution. You know, this is like classic distribution, right? Classic. This shit right here. So you know, people, and I even said it in the channel so many times. Right, that this is basically what people do is, these whales do. They drive the price up as shit, and then they just dump on you, right? And you don't even know they're dumping because they're keeping this price up, and they say, oh, it's gonna go higher, it's gonna go, let's go high, boys, right? And then they start slowing the volume down, and as the volume starts slowing down, look at this, you know, it just goes down, and they activate the market maker a little bit again, and it just goes down, and now it's just forgotten. The coin is forgotten. You can see this. The coin basically doesn't exist for them anymore. They're done with it. Now the question is, does HOT have enough cash to do another thing like this? I mean, I don't know, because after the CEO got allegedly told about the sex dungeon and everything, I mean the bondage dungeon and everything else, they also had to lay off a lot of staff. So what that basically tells me that people, I'm sorry, they overspent, you know. So that means they basically overspent their cash. So it's like every other altcoin out there, you know. They get, when they get cash from ICO, they hire the biggest offices, and they hire offices which are like 20 to 30 grand a month, you know. That's insane. And they hire too many people who are there, and they don't even know what to do with them, you know. They have like, I don't know, too many interns and everything. And then obviously these companies are not bringing in any revenue, right? These companies are like free. I mean, none of them actually make any cash, you know. They're just there to quote unquote create technology or something like that, right?
And at some point the fixed costs become too important, and
exactly.
you have to later.
And
it's uncontrolled growth.
Yeah.
Typical case.
Exactly. And when I'm looking at this, I wouldn't want to be in this chart anymore. Too much drama, you know. You never know. What if Binance says we don't want this coin anymore, just delist this, and then you're really fucked if Binance deletes this, right? And it's gonna drop to like 1 Satoshi or like 2 Satoshis, and then it's really screwed. So yeah, wouldn't be my best.
Let me check if we have a question. Not on YouTube. No, on the channel. So I guess it's pretty much it. What do you think, Alex?
Okay, we can wrap this up. Well, guys, we will do another test with 8 o'clock next week to see if you guys really wanted this. We just wanna kind of experiment the timelines here to see where we're gonna get the most viewers when people have the most time. But yeah, we will see that. We will see them next week. We could probably do 8 o'clock, or maybe we're gonna do it earlier. I don't know.
Maybe we will do a bit earlier, but
let's
not.
Do it like next week. Maybe let's do it like at 6 o'clock to see.
6 o'clock next week.
If people prefer that, because a lot of people should be home at 6 o'clock, right? So we will do this and see how many views we get then, and yeah, we'll just build it up until we find that sweet spot, right? Okay.
Thank you for your attention, guys, and see you next week.
Yep, guys, take care and stay safe on the safe trading side, right? And yeah, see you next week.
Don't oversize your position.
Exactly. Bye.